What's up, everyone? This is Naxxion back with another video, and today I'm showing my undefeated Ryzeal deck profile. Currently, my record with this deck is 11-0. This deck's crazy. It's so much fun. This is the most I've enjoyed a deck since when UBL first came out, but I digress. I'll get right into the deck profile. Just a note that this deck is incomplete. I am still missing a few cards, but it's nothing too major at this point. Play 3 ice. This card is insane. This whole deck is just nothing but gas. 3 copies of Sword Ryzeal, and then I have 2 copies of EXT. My third one has not come in yet, but I mean, it would just be something I throw in once I get it. And then, of course, you play the 1 node Ryzeal. Great in the mid game and late game. Not really good in the beginning, but you have to play it. For this version, I play 1 Ryzeal Cross, and I opt to play 1 of the Plasma Hole. I really like Plasma Hole. There are just some situations where this helps, and sure, you know, Imperm is probably a better card in general for handling situations, but Plasma Hole feels really good. It keeps your detonator even more stacked up. And then, of course, the banish effect can come up. Cross is just crazy. If I could, I'd play more than 1 copy, but you really only need 1 to get the most out of this deck. For the Fiendsmith part, I play 3 Engrave, 1 Lacrima, 1 Lurie, and triple Tract. I believe triple Tract is correct. You just need to see extension and extension and extension. Sure, you lose more and more into draw, but the deck only needs to really search once, and the rest of it is fine. Standard Fiendsmith stuff is so fun in this deck. It gives this deck so much extra versatility. I don't think Ryzeal would be represented currently if you didn't have the Fiendsmith cards. But yeah, so fun and so free. For the hand trap lineups, I play triple Nib. Card is insane in this format. Every deck loses to it, and it's such a free feeling. I really don't like Malice, so it's really good to break that board. Triple Ash. Triple Imperm. I also play triple Ghost Ogre. Triple Droll. 2 Bystials. And 2 Effect Failures. I really just wanted to opt out on hand traps, especially since I'm still missing an EXT, so one of these can get cut down eventually. But yeah, this is the hand traps. It's such a nice feeling. It really is. I understand now why so many top tier players like Snake Eyes. And for extension, 3 Bonfire, and because I don't own Fiendsmith in Paradise, I have the 1 Solemn Strike. Didn't really come up, and it really hasn't, but this is just supposed to substitute that for a worse effect. So that's the main deck. For the side, I play 2 copies of Detonator and 1 copy of Duo Drive. I know a lot of people play 2 Duo Drive. I don't agree. You're only ever going to really resolve Duo Drive once in a game. You have ways to recycle in this card, and it's just unnecessary. You need Detonator because it will come up. Your opponent will do everything in their power to get rid of the card. But Dual Drive is a resolve once, and basically what this card reads is discard Ash or +2. I mean, that's what it is. I play 1 Wreck, 1 Sequence, 1 Nagumdi. Card's crazy. I called this being crazy months ago. This card's so free. And 1 Desiree for the proper Fiendsmith cards. This is just your standard. This is everything that you needed to do. And then for extra cards, I play 1 Necrocrypt Princess and 1 Chaos Angel. Chaos Angel is more or less here for mirror matches and in some circumstances where you can't actually out certain boards and you just want to banish something and make your cards even stronger. Chaos Angel is definitely a cuttable card. I haven't gotten the most use out of it yet, but it's still there, and it's still a fine addition. I don't really see it as a bad thing. And then 1 copy of Moon. To bridge, you can either, for a deck like this, use your Evil Swarm or this. I prefer this because it's just a little bit more generic. Although, if you're worried about cash, play the Evil Swarm and probably cut out like a Chaos Angel or something like that. I just do it because I, more or less in the situation, I'm not going to really be able to benefit from the Evil Swarm effect. And I just want to bridge. Number 41. I have yet to summon this card, but it is an option. Abyss Dweller. I've summoned this once. It's pretty good. I mean, it's banned in the OCG, so we get to enjoy it while we can. I also play 1 DDD Wave. This card's insane. As a Yubel player, I enjoy this card fully. This card is also insane in this deck. That's why I can't wait to get the 30 XT. This just breaks boards and lets you put pressure on going first and second. And then I play Typhon. Typhon says I'm losing the game from about 98% of decks. But for whatever reason, it works really well in Ryzeal. And it's just a great card to have. We have a Scareclaw player. And with the combination of the correct cards to deal with it, you don't have to worry about your board getting broken. So it's a very free, nice feeling. As for the side deck, it's horrendous. But because my locals is filled with nothing but branded Scareclaw and Malice, I just wanted to prepare for that. Triple copies of Fenrir. I just side this in if I need to either break a board or put more pressure. If I know specific choke points to a deck, I'll definitely place it out there. Plus, if you're going against a Malice player and they play into it, they can get one of the resources just completely out of the game. I played 2 copies of Chaos Hunter. This won me a game against the best Malice player there. This card is very risky. You either says you're nagging 2 or your opponent just loses the game. It's kind of cumbersome, and this was a last-minute throw-in that I put into the deck, but, I mean, it won me a game, and I felt really reassured seeing that, so my opponent couldn't just go ballistic. Like I said, I don't want to deal with Malice. I don't particularly like underage decks, so they can deal with that. 1 copy of Anti-Spell. I just threw this in here. I still haven't fully fleshed out the side, but it hasn't really mattered. I have pretty much everything else that I need in order to just do okay at locals. If I went to a regional or higher, I'd definitely change it up a bit. 3 copies of Lancia. I know a lot of people just play 1. I just want to see this. I just don't want to deal with Malice. I don't like Cyber decks. And then 3 Sanctum. I want to play 6 copies. I just want to shut it down. I understand that this is a bit much, but the deck can do everything else it needs to. You don't ever really go, I'm not prepared for the other situations. Other than like Runic Stun, you're fine. And then for board breaking, I played also 3 copies of Ultimate Slayer. Because I'm playing Chaos Angel, I have access to pretty much every card in the extra deck to break. It could probably be something better. I was originally thinking of doing Forbidden Droplet, because you uninterrupted gain a lot of advantage, but Slayer has done its job fine. But yeah, this deck is insane. This deck is Zodiac 2. It plays exactly like it. You draw a bunch of advantage. You end on Trident. And instead of setting traps, you now have hand traps. And that is the evolution of this deck. Is that. This is just Zodiac. In most ways. It is better in most ways too. But it's also fun. This deck doesn't say, I just win the game on the spot. This deck doesn't just go, oh, well, I went uninterrupted, so therefore I'll win the game without question. No, you have to be able to outplay your opponent. You need to outgrind. There's quite a few situations where it can get a little tricky, but because of the amount of advantage you generate, you just need to be able to know how to manage those resources really well. Represent Ryzeal. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that name, but this deck is fun. I wasn't going to be able to afford this, but certain circumstances came up which allowed me to. And, yeah, it's just such a fun deck. I mean, even without the Fiendsmith stuff, which I still believe that it's the best variant of this deck, it's just so good. It's such a good feeling being able to play something like this. I like decks that are very skill expression heavy, so I'll deal with it. And, yeah, I know it's probably not the best list, but I just don't want to deal with certain matchups in my locals. And, yeah, Side deck is just custom made for that. Everything else, you can just play it. The one piece of advice I'd get is for anyone who's playing this, do not overextend your deck, as that's how you lose. You need to sometimes hold on to quite a bit of advantage in order to just outgrind. Your hand traps and whatever board you put on should be enough. If you overextend and your board broken, you will lose the game, and top decking the engine is just not the way. But yeah, that's my deck profile. I've enjoyed this deck. I hope I'm gonna be able to go to a regional and do something with it. It'd just be a really nice time. Such a good deck. I recommend anyone to pick it up. Enjoy it while it lasts, because I'm sure Konami's gonna hit this deck within the next ban list or two, which will be a shame. But anyway, thanks for watching.